All right. Celtics Sixers game 1 in the books. I know. I took a while to get this video out. But hear me out, okay? Celtics game ended. I was all hyped. And then I was like, wait. I think the Bruins play today. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I didn't get any notifications about the game all day. So I assumed the game wasn't over. So I hop over to NBC Sports Network, whatever, right? And the Bruins are losing 2-0. And I'm with like 10 minutes left in the third period. I'm like, oh no, we're gonna lose. It's gonna be tied 2-2. Bruins come all the way back, score 4 unanswered goals. They win 4-3. What a game. Anyway, that's for a different video. But anyways, that's why it took so long. And then the Red Sox game was in the 8th inning. I had to let that finish. Whatever. Still got destroyed. Also for another video. Anyways, Boston wins. Boston wins game 1. Goes up 1-0. Win 109-101. JT, crazy game. Career game for the playoffs. 32 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 blocks to go with it, right? Youngest Celtic player ever to have 30 plus points and 10 plus rebounds in a playoff game. Mind you, only 22 years old, only his third year in the league. I know there's just a meme about all Celtics fans say that, but it's true. Like he's only 3 years in and he's already playing at this level. And he can go higher. Doris Burke even said it. She said, he's playing this well, and I think he has another level. So JT's just going up and up. But the man nobody wants to talk about. The man that gets no recognition unless it's off the court because of all the amazing things he does off the court, right? Jaylen Brown. The Celtics are 20. I was thinking about his points. The Celtics are 14-0 this year when Jaylen Brown drops 25 or more. 14-0. I didn't give out his stat line yet, but I'm assuming you can tell about me bringing it up. He had more than 25 points. Well, at least 25 points. Jaylen Brown on really efficient shooting. I think it was 8 for 13. Might be wrong. 8 for 14, maybe. I don't know. I checked the score. I checked the scores, like the points and all that, but I didn't check efficiency. But I know Tatum went 10 for 21. Didn't say that. He went 10 for 21. I think Jaylen went 8 for 14. I'm pretty sure. But he had 29 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. This duo is nuts, guys. Think about this. They just combined for what? 61 points? Right? 61 points, and one of them had 3 steals, and the other one had 3 blocks. That's nuts. Mind you, Jaylen Brown is the oldest one, and he's 23. These guys are insane. These guys have to. This is the best young duo in the league right now. No question. These guys are studs. Yes, Jaylen Brown did not make the All-Star game. I understand that, but he should have. No question he should have. It's just the fact that he's the third option on the team. Think about that. He's the third option on the team, averaging 20 points. And he never, until this year, I guess last year too, he was just a pure slasher. Just go dunk the ball, right? Get your layups, dunk the ball. But now, he can break ankles. Now, he can pull up from 4 feet behind the three-point line and not even care. He can pull from the hash. He pulls from the hash and just completely confident. Man, hand in his face, hash green. Just every time. Not every time, obviously. He's not a perfect shooter. But he can hit threes now. He hits big-time threes now. In the bubble, he's hit a lot of big threes. In one of the seeding games, he went 6 for 6 in the fourth quarter with 4 threes or something. Nuts. Jaylen Brown, people need to watch out for this man. Jaylen Brown went off again. And he's just going to be in the shadow of Tatum again. Which, don't get me wrong, I got the Tatum jersey on, right? JT's my favorite player, right? But people need to talk about Jaylen more. Yes, Tatum is a young Kobe. Tatum is a young Kobe who's 3 inches taller, right? But Jaylen Brown is playing just as well. just as well. He's just not flashy. He doesn't have the sidestep 3 over 2 people. He doesn't have that yet. But he does all the little things and still and he still puts up his 29 points. He only averages 3 less points than Jayson Tatum. He only averages a 3-pointer less. And everyone talks about how Jayson Tatum is going to be a top, which I think he will be eventually, a top 5 player in the NBA, right? Sorry, I'm going way off script, but I just had to get that out. Anyways, as far as the defense goes, yes, we gave up 101 points. Yeah, I know. Which isn't bad. It's not horrible. But I'm still really proud of how this defense played tonight. Because yeah, they scored, but they hit a lot of tough shots. Philly hit a lot of tough shots, especially in that first quarter. Joel Embiid could not miss. He went 5-5 in the first quarter. Listen, he took a 3, right? End of the shot clock. Takes a step back 3 from like 2 feet behind the 3-point line and bangs it. I told my friends, because I was talking to them while I was watching the game, I said, if he hits this, I'm turning it off. He hit it, right? I turned my TV off. And I wait like 30 seconds. And I'm like, okay, obviously, I'm gonna watch this game, right? I'm not gonna just sit here and just complain about them making a shot. So I turned it back on, and as soon as I turned back on, I think it was Marcus. No, it wasn't Marcus Smart. Someone hit a 3. I think it was Gordon Hayward, actually. Gordon Hayward hit a 3 while I had it off. I turned it back on, and Grant Williams is doing a 3-point celebration on the bench. I don't know. But we were then winning by like 3 points. So yeah, I'm very proud of the defense. They hit a lot of the other team hit a lot of tough shots. I mean, if you double team someone in the paint and they still take a floater and make it, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, but the only thing, we gotta stop fouling. We have to. At one point the Sixers were in the bonus with like 5 minutes left in the quarter, and like if it's the fourth quarter, whatever. But it was like the third quarter. Like, we can't be doing that. And yes, there's a lot of calls that don't go our way sometimes. Jayson Tatum had a lot of layups today that could have been in ones. But still, I'm sorry if that, I don't know if you guys can hear that, my fault. Still, we just need to stop fouling. And I talked right about the offense, how Tatum and Brown dropped like what, 62 combined, I think I said? 61? Yeah. But there was a point in this game where the Celtics went 5 minutes and 5 seconds, without scoring a single point. Complete drought. No points scored at all. Right? But at the end of all of that, at the end of those 5 minutes, the Celtics were still only down by 2 points. After not being able to score a single bucket for 5 minutes, they were only down by 2 points. That's nuts. Like this, when we want to, this defense is insane. Because yes, I get it. Ben Simmons is not on the floor, right? But when Ben Simmons isn't on the floor, that opens the whole court up for Joel Embiid. I don't know if Joel Embiid was on the floor at this time. I didn't even know the drought was 5 minutes and 5 seconds. I just knew we hadn't scored in a long time, and then I went and found out from someone else that it was 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Yeah, that's tough. Anyways, yeah, offense. This bench needs to step up. Period. End of story. It's nuts because the Celtics scored 109 points, right? 109. Just guess how many points the bench had. I'll wait. Just take a guess. Just think of a number in your head. Okay. 8 points. The bench scored 8 points. 2 from Marcus. 4 from, I think, Cantor. And then 2 from Rob. Rob or Kenner had 4, either one. I can't remember which one. One of them had 4. One of the bigs had 4 off the bench. But that can't happen. It just can't. We need to be able to score more off the bench. Like that night where we scored like 150 or 149. The bench went nuts. I mean, we didn't even play the bench. We didn't even play the starters in the fourth with like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter of that game. We scored 149 points. Like, that's just nuts. I mean, Robert Williams, up until this point, was playing like a starter. Like, he was averaging like 12 points per game and like 8 rebounds and like 5 blocks on 88% shooting. Like, he was going nuts. But I guess Philly just has the answer for him. I don't know. It is what it is. Hold on. Back to that scoring drought. I know Tatum was on the floor for that. I don't understand. Listen, I'm going off topic. I'm sorry. I jumped things, but I forgot to mention this. I read over the script. The thing is, I understand that like everyone needs to eat, right? This team there's too much talent on this team for one person to be taking all the shots. 100% too much. Like, well, out of the starting lineup and obviously Marcus and all that. This team is too talented to just have one guy just run the thing. That's just not how Boston works. But in this scoring drought, Tatum was in the corner. Like, there's times where we won't score for 3, 4, 5, 6 possessions, and Tatum does not touch the ball. I don't know why this happens. Like, he dropped 21 points and a half. He dropped 21 points and a half, which was a career playoff high for him and a half. And then he doesn't touch the ball till like a few minutes left in the third quarter. And then he doesn't touch the ball again for a little bit in the fourth quarter. Like, he wasn't getting the ball. Like, yes, he took 21 shots, but he scored 21 out of his 32 in the first half. Right? So when we're on these scoring droughts where we can't score, give Tatum the ball. Give him at least one shot to just get us on right. Just to calm the offense down. Just please, because he can get whatever shot he wants, whenever he wants it. And we all know that. Best defender's not like when Ben Simmons isn't on the floor for the Sixers, right? Matisse Thybulle's their best defender, and listen. I love Carson Edwards, but we traded Matisse Thybulle for Carson Edwards. Carson Edwards doesn't play. Matisse Thybulle is a key rotation player for the Sixers on defense, and he hits threes now, so defense and offense. He's a key player, and Carson Edwards doesn't even play. But whatever. I love Carson, but just let's talk about that later. Where was I at? Bench. Yes, bench being horrible. Forgot to mention, Gordon Hayward got hurt in this game. For anyone who doesn't know about that, Gordon Hayward got hurt again. Now, we don't know the details. It looked bad. He was like coming down for a rebound. I don't know if he had the ball, but he was coming down and he like landed on his ankle funny or something. It looked bad. It looked gross. But he limped off the court, so that's a positive. But he left the arena, whatever you want to call it. He left the court on crutches and had a boot on his, I think it's his left leg, his left leg. So that sucks. And assuming it's not just ice, I mean, he has to get an MRI, right? So we're not going to assume it's an ice it up tonight, come back the next day kind of thing. And I know they don't play till Wednesday, but let's just assume he has to miss that game, and maybe more. We need we need the next man up. We have to. We don't have a choice. This is the playoffs. This isn't the middle of the season, beginning of the season. This is the NBA playoffs. And not only is it the playoffs, we're playing the team that I hate the most out of any team. I don't hate the Lakers anymore. Okay, I hate the Lakers, but we don't play the Lakers enough. Not when it matters. We haven't played the Lakers in the finals since Paul Pierce and them. Like that's a long time. Well, at least in 2010 was that the last time? I mean 10 years ago. I mean that's big. And the Lakers weren't even relevant until LeBron got there, and even then, when LeBron got hurt, after that they were irrelevant. You know what I mean? So the Lakers rivalry hasn't really been. You know what I mean? It hasn't really been a rivalry. There's nothing there. But with the Sixers, I hate that team the most. Did you know that the Celtics and the Sixers playing in this series is an NBA record? They've met 21 times in the playoffs. Anyways, hate the Sixers. I hate that they took Al Horford because I love that guy, but we weren't going to pay him. But I hate that Al Horford went there. I hate the Sixers in general. I just hate them. So not only is this not the regular season, not only is this the playoffs, we're playing the Sixers, who we need to beat them. We need to sweep them. Period. They need to be swept. You know what I mean? So what are we gonna do, right? You think if Gordon Hayward can't play, you would think you would go Kemba. What would you do? You'd go like Kemba, Marcus, Jaylen, JT, Tice. Right, that's what you would think. Right, you would just put Marcus up because he's normally a bench player. Put Marcus up, move Jaylen over, move everyone over one. Right, but I'm not feeling it. I'm really not. I'm thinking not because of his performance, not at all. I think Marcus is the defensive player of the year. He's not going to get it. Wasn't even a finalist. Even though he's the best defensive guard in the league and guards every position, 1 through 5, effectively. So it's nothing to do with his performance whatsoever. But that bench, the bench needs his 3-point shooting. The bench needs his playmaking. The bench needs his defense. The bench needs his fight and grit and never give up mentality. That bench needs that. They need a leader to lead them. That sounds so dumb. Leader to lead them. They need someone to lead them. And like get them through the times when the starters can't, when we need to get something going. He's there. We need to keep him there. Because then in the starting lineup, I mean, the starters don't need him. They're not used to even, he's just not there. I mean, he's literally a bench player. They're not used to him being on the floor anyways. Not with all of the 4 rest of them. You know what I mean? So I think we should keep Marcus on the bench. Put in Shemi. Put in Shemi Ojeleye for Gordon Hayward. Now, Shemi isn't anywhere in the atmosphere of a player that Gordon Hayward is. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But you put Shemi in, you keep the heights the same. I think Gordon Hayward and Shemi are the same height. If not, Shemi's like an inch shorter. Maybe, but keep the heights the same, right? And then you keep Jaylen in the lineup. You keep JT in the lineup, right? And Shemi can shoot. Shemi can hit those corner threes. Shemi can hit threes, and Shemi can play defense. Shemi's just that. He's a defensive player. It is what it is. So just put him out there to bolster the starting defense, and have him there to be a bailout corner 3 and to set screens with his ripped body. Dude's ripped. Just have him set screens with a big body. And that's just what you're going to have to deal with. Because, you would think, looking at the roster, I would want to try Romeo Langford, personally. Because he's such a good, don't get me wrong. Romeo, I love Romeo. Right? Okay, I love Romeo as a player, right? And when we drafted him, I didn't know much. I don't really follow college basketball personally. So I didn't know much, but I was watching highlights and I was seeing him play and all this and all that. And I knew he was injured, but I was like, okay, this guy's good. This guy's for real. Scoring wise. And then when he finally got on the court for the Celtics, I saw the defensive, what's the term they use? Defensive menace he is. He's such a good defender. He gets blocks and he's lanky. I mean, he technically blocked LeBron, but on the clip, he's guarding LeBron, and LeBron goes up for a layup, and Romeo smacks the ball out, but LeBron caught it midair and still made the shot. But anyways, like Romeo gets blocks and steals, and he's a lanky, long defender. And he can shoot. Like, the scoring isn't the issue. And he can play defense. So, you'd think he would be the one to put in. But he's suffering from torn tendons in his shooting wrist? And before tonight, so like yesterday, they said that Romeo was questionable to return at all, like for the whole playoffs, not just the first round, like the whole playoffs. Like they didn't know. And today they said that he's available, but I mean, he's ailing a wrist injury. Just because he's available doesn't mean you play him, right? And he's really, really injury prone, so you need to let him recover. I love him to death, but he's just injury prone. It is what it is. You have to call it for what it is. And so he needs to recover. Yes, he came in for garbage time today. There was like 10 seconds left on the clock. He came in, whatever. But I just don't think he's ready yet. I really don't. If he can play, bring him off the bench. If you think he's healthy enough and ready enough to be a starter, great. While GH is out, and none of this might even happen, right? Gordon Hayward might just be fine, might just ice up, might be back, and this is just all out the window. But if we do need someone to come in and be the star, I'm putting Semi Ojeleye in, and Romeo can get the time he needs when he feels like he's ready and healthy, because he needs to be comfortable. Otherwise, stuff goes bad. But yeah, that's how I see the lineup being for now. And again, if Gordon Hayward comes back and it's not even a thing, then throw it all out the window. But yeah, great win tonight. It's always good to get the first game out the way. Go up 1-0, get it out the way. The playoffs feel different, man. It's not the same without TD Garden, bro. It's just not. The biggest thing going from here right now, the biggest thing that has me excited is that we're playing the Sixers. Like the fact that it's just the rivalry. Like if we were the 2 seed right now playing the Nets. Okay, you might notice a different angle now. I have recorded this video that you're watching right now twice. Twice. So I spent 40 minutes recording then. Right, 41 minutes, and I wrote this whole script. And my phone just decides, oh, in the middle, at the end of your video, right before you're about to finish, my phone's just gonna crash. Like my camera's just gonna crash, lose all of it. Thought I lost all of it, so I'm like, okay, fine. I'm redoing the video. I'm redoing the whole 20 minutes right there. Fine. Then at like 21 something, it crashes again, and I'm like, oh, wow. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's my storage on my phone, because I have a lot of storage used on my phone. So I go and clear out like 7 gigabytes of stuff, useless stuff. And I'm like, and then I go back to my camera roll, and the video that I thought got corrupt is there. So you're watching the first one because I deleted the second one because I thought the first one was better. But yeah, this was tough. This was tough, but we got the video out. I ended on complaining about how the fact that the playoffs feel different. They don't really feel like playoff games because there's no fans playing in TD Garden. Is just the energy. It's just electric. It always is. But anyways, Celtics win big. Game 2 Wednesday. Not sure the time when, but Game 2 Wednesday. In the bubble, obviously not in any arenas. But yeah, let's go. Screw the Sixers, let's go.